What are you doing? You clearly can't follow instructions. Did you not see the title of the episode? This was never supposed to see the light of day. But Sato's on vacation and we're desperate. Before you listen to this podcast, I have to preface, it was the second podcast we recorded that day and it was late at night. So we were a little delirious and we didn't know what we were thinking when we chose this as a topic. And we were sort of desperate because we didn't think ahead. So please do not judge us when you hear this. And hopefully we can hold on to some of our dignity after this. Enjoy the episode. Welcome back, guys, to the Cousin
Connection
podcast. And today we're going to come to you with the most pressing topics of today's age.
We're talking about our bowel movements.
Exactly. And how we couldn't control them.
Anyone who knows Amir, or anyone who knew him in his childhood, knew that he got a book full of stories. Okay? A book full.
Okay, just let y'all know this is the second podcast we're recording today. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter one because we're kind of pressed on time.
And by the way, hopefully you're not listening to this episode while you're eating because we talking about...
Yeah, we thought, you know what, we've been giving you guys too many serious topics. We might as well just go in on something like super childish, immature. You know, just
Yeah.
you know, why not just, you know... This is the real conversations we usually have.
I love a good poop story, though,
yeah,
you know?
these are like we're all these topics we usually talk about. Like we may mention them here and there, but the
Yeah.
real topics that we talk about are usually like R-rated, like poop stories or what happened. Remember that one I have a recent? Okay, I'll get to that one too. So yeah, if you don't know, I have a history of like not being able to control my bowel movements.
Like ever.
Yeah.
And it's always the most inconvenient time.
It's always the most inconvenient time. So we thought it was like dedicated episode. Do you have any stories like this?
Not that I want to expose.
Come on. If I'm going to
What?
expose them, you got to expose them.
No, but you're a guy. It's normal for you.
Okay.
Girls don't even poop. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. You guys are like unicorns.
We just don't poop. Or so they say.
It's weird just making a full topic about this, but you know
It
what?
is
We're already
weird.
doing it.
Yeah.
I'm sending it, guys.
It
This
is
what we're
human
doing.
nature. Okay?
Exactly. Human nature. I can't do the accent at all. But yeah, I don't know why. So, you know what? Let's just get into it. So, as a child, everybody learns to not pee the bed at some point.
Mhm.
But I for some reason, I learned that too. But for some reason, I just did not learn how to not poop myself.
You would poop in your sleep?
No, not in my sleep. Like just during the day. Like I wouldn't know how to like time things out. And actually, that last podcast we did about like insecurity and stuff. That maybe that's one of my fears. My other fear is like not knowing where the next bathroom is. You know what? Yeah, that's the thing. That's an irrational fear of mine.
No, that's mine too.
Yeah, like not knowing where the next bathroom is. So, you know, this is just a continuation of the last podcast. That was the longest podcast, but you know,
As a victim of lactose intolerance,
mm-hmm.
you gotta know where the next bathroom is.
Exactly.
Okay?
And as a victim of not knowing when the next bowel movement is coming, you gotta know where the bathroom is gonna be. Yo, the one thing, so I recently came back from Vancouver. One thing I can give credit to Vancouver for, outside of their like beautiful scenery and all that stuff, is that you can find a bathroom anywhere out there. I was in the middle of a park, and
was
they
it
had
clean though?
Yeah, they had a nice. Well, they did go in the morning, but they had a nice, clean washroom, and like there was not. It's not like there was just one for the whole place. There was like one every few 100 feet or so.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it wasn't even that like sparse or anything.
Was it like an outhouse or?
No, it was regular, like full-on washroom stalls, everything. So I know that's a weird thing to notice, but when you're a person who's constantly looking for a washroom, like that's like a blessing right there.
Do you call it washroom or bathroom?
Washroom. Why? Is it bathroom? I feel like there's that whole American thing where they say like the Americans call it a restroom or something. No?
Yeah, they're weird. They call it powder room, restroom. I mean, powder room is like these. A powder room is like one of these like it was just a toilet and a mirror. Yeah, or in a sink. Sorry. And I think bathroom or washroom is the one with the bathtub in it.
But like in America, they'd say restroom, I think, right? No?
All the time?
I think so.
You ain't
The
resting
restroom?
in there.
Exactly. Well, like you're resting something, but
I mean, I guess. But yeah, I switch it up between bathroom and washroom.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've ever said, maybe I have said bathroom, but bathroom, like
you say washroom.
In regards to a place that has a bath in it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Because if it's a bathroom, it has to have a bath in it, no?
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, no, because, you know what? That's semantics. It's lots of small stuff.
All right.
So let's take you back to, like, let me tell you the one. So there's this place called Teasdale. Almost every Harari person knows about this place because you've either
lived
there or have a family member who's lived there. Whether you're from Toronto or not, you've probably been there at some point in your life. And the thing about Teasdale, if you've ever gone there, is that the buildings are like what, 25, 28 stories high, like super tall buildings. And for some reason, every Harari person lived on the top floor. Have you noticed that? Every Harari person lives on the top floor.
Penthouse living.
And it's the last room at the end of the hallway. Why is that? Maybe it's just something I've noticed from my family. Like, I don't know if everyone else had someone else that lived like in the middle of the hallway or something.
They got the corner unit.
The corner unit. I think maybe there's something about that corner unit where it's
usually bigger. And
is it because it's bigger?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe because Hararis have like larger families, so they need the larger room. So those are usually at the end. Okay, we just figured it out right there. Case closed.
But that day.
Yeah. So that day we were visiting our uncle, and I
was with you.
You were with us?
Vividly remember sitting in that car.
So we just left our uncle's house. And we were downstairs. Our car was like parked in the front of the building. And of course, I came out being like, Daddy, I have to use the washroom. And like, and for some reason, I'm that type of person who will not let you know until I have literally like T-minus 5-10 seconds before I will explode.
Why are you like that?
I don't know. My mom's the same way. I don't know if I want to expose her for that. But sometimes like she'll be sitting down on the couch. And then randomly she'll like jump up and start sprinting to the washroom. I'm like, you're in the house. Why are you holding it like that?
I know.
But I think everyone does that. I think everyone kind of holds it a little bit
until like the very last minute.
Yeah, because they just know it's there. It's know it's available.
Yeah.
I feel like people with bigger families probably don't do that because they know it might be used at some point. But when you're dealing with like 4 people in the house, you're like, it's available.
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't know why I waited till the last second, but I had to go. Like, there was no talking if, ands, but I had to go. So, of course, you're like, okay, your uncle lives in the building. Why don't you go up, right?
Yeah.
So I, like, make it maybe 10, 15 steps. We're at the front door just to get to the elevator. I'm like, nah, it's go time. So this is the thing. Like, everyone does this when they're desperate to find a washroom. You start scouting for, like, spots that you could use if necessary. You're like, if I go here, like maybe no one will see me. so I'm like scouting around looking for a spot, and all I see at the front door is a mailbox.
Was it it was like a big metal?
Yeah, it was like a big metal mailbox. And in between that mailbox was just enough space where someone could like, squat and sort of hide. So I was like, you know what? That looks like a bathroom right now. So, of course, I pull down the pants. I squat. And I just start going in the middle of this front door.
Watching you do this, we were like in tears. And your dad was like, stop laughing at him. And we couldn't stop laughing because I'm just like, he could have went upstairs. Why is he literally in the front of the building?
Like, to the point where like I'm squatting, doing my thing, and there are people exiting the building and entering, just looking to the side. And they see a kid.
You were in plain.
I was in plain sight.
I think you thought like the mailbox on the side was like hiding you or something.
Yeah, it did not hide me at all. Like, when kids, when you tell like hide and seek and they think they found a spot, but they're still fully in plain sight. I was that kid. And then people were just watching me as I'm going. And then as we were talking, like in that last podcast about BBL, I did the BBL pose in the car because my dad did not want me getting anything on the car. So he put newspapers across the seat. And I literally drove because Teasdale was like 5-10 minutes from the house. So we literally drove with my like butt in the air.
Oh my God.
I think we used like newspapers because that box was the newspaper box. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
So you took the newspapers out of it.
So small.
I know. I don't know, man. I was a small kid. I was like 8 years old. I don't remember how old I was. I was old enough to like not have to do those kind of things, but I still did it. And that was like my first.
Was that the first one?
I think that was the first one that I remember.
No, the school one.
No, that one happened after. I think. Yeah, that happened after. I was a lot older then.
Can you please tell that story?
Okay, so there's also another story.
This is my favorite.
So okay, I don't know if I had any concept of time at this point, but but my aunt was babysitting me this day, and like my aunt and me always had beef, so like I tried to like spend as little time like in her presence, so because she would beat me all the time. So I left early for school. Well, like I thought I left at a normal time, but it was early, and I got to school. No one was there. Literally not one person. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. No one is in the school at this moment. So like I'm just standing there by myself. I don't want to go back because I know if I go back and I tell her what happened, she's gonna beat me. So like, I'm just tough it out.
Did she question why you left the house?
I don't know. I don't know how she let me. Maybe she just thought like maybe school was starting. I don't know if she knew what time it was. So, because this is a point where I was going to school by myself. I was just because the school was literally down the street. So I just walked to the school myself. So I think I just left with my stuff. Maybe she didn't even know that I left at that point. And then literally I was like, okay, I'm standing there by myself. I'm like, I really have to go to the washroom, but I'm not going back home because I know if I go back home, she's going to be like, why'd you leave early? Why'd you leave without telling me? Blah, blah, blah. End up with a beating or whatever.
You know
so,
you up.
So at this point, I'm like doing that whole thing again. I have to go to the washroom, scouting spots. And at this point, like, okay, so I don't know if you know this, but like in some schools, the caretakers, they'll have like a little shed separate from the school. And it wasn't even that far from the school. That's the thing. I was, just to let you know, I'm the worst scouter ever for these spots. I could have gone to the trees that were on the other side of the field that were completely hidden and out of sight. But I, for some reason, chose to go to this shed that was right in front of the school.
I know which one you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right? We used to climb it as kids.
Yes.
And I literally just squatted down and just went on the floor there. And then I had nothing to clean up, so I just pulled up my pants. I was
Ew.
That is buchty food.
Dad poo in your butt crack.
and no one's gonna listen to this. Let's just go all out. And then 5 or like 15 minutes later, all I hear is someone screaming as they're walking towards me, and I see my aunt. Should I even say her name? No, I'll just say my aunt. She literally she came to the school looking for me because no one was there. And she like dragged me by my ear all the way back home. And then, so of course this is early in the morning, so I had to go back to school, right? So I go back to school, walking the way like towards that shed or whatever, to see who was still there, and all I see is a bunch of kids standing around it. I think there was even a teacher.
Wait, you know the weird thing is?
What?
Why were they watching you?
Because they were wondering why there was shit on the floor next to shit.
Can I just assume it's like a raccoon?
It was definitely human. They could tell. I had a big dinner and breakfast.
My child.
So I like walk up. Because you gotta play the part, right?
Yeah.
So I walked up. They're all looking at me like, I don't know, man. Maybe some hobo or something.
Not you playing along.
Yo, is any of this admissible? Is any of this usable?
That's my all-time favorite story of yours.
1 second, I gotta drink some water.
That's actually my all-time favorite. Oh my god, I'm in tears.
Let me tell you about Ethiopia.
Oh, I have one too.
So I got a couple from Ethiopia. I'll tell the one of the, what do you call them? The people who sat at Tinya, the people,
maid.
The maid, exactly. Yeah. So we went to Ethiopia, and if anyone knows, when you go to Ethiopia, the toilets there are not the same. Well, if you go to any kind of third world country, the toilets are not the same.
Yeah, it depends on your family. Like sometimes it'll just literally be a hole in the ground.
Yeah, it'll be a hole in the ground. And the thing is that like
it's actually better to like that's how you're supposed to.
Yeah, it's better to do that. Yeah. For the story that I'm specifically talking about, they had the proper washroom. What? But like the place that I was sleeping, you know how in like Ethiopia, like the houses are kind of open concept, if that makes sense.
Yeah, all the rooms are like
outside.
Detached, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And they had like a large yard, and the room that I was sleeping in was like on the other side of the complex or the area where
house were you at?
It was my uncle, my dad's brother.
Oh, okay.
And this was at, if you know another thing about Ethiopia, at nighttime it's pitch black.
Yeah.
Like when I say pitch black, you won't be able to see anything. And I really had to, I woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know. I never wake up like this. I think it's because when you're nervous about something, you think something's going to happen. It's going to happen. So I really had to go to the washroom. I had to go number 2 at this point. So I wake up, can't see anything. So I start feeling around, and I try to like remember the layout of the day.
Oh
and
my God.
I think the moon wasn't out either. So it was like,
did you not have a phone?
No, I was still like, maybe I was young enough to where I didn't have my own personal cell phone, or at least didn't have like, we didn't have the flat screens with like the big lights yet, right?
Okay.
So I'm literally searching around, feeling around. I'm like, okay, I remember this is where the maid's bathroom is, because in Ethiopia the maids actually have like a separate living area and washroom. So I was like, you know what, they won't mind.
You used their bathroom.
So I used their washroom, but they had the toilet that was in the floor, right?
Yeah.
And at this point, I was still so new to Ethiopia, I didn't know how to use these washrooms.
Oh my, don't tell me you put your butt on the floor.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, something worse. Okay, so I go in there and I tell you it's pitch black. You can't see anything. So I have to sort of guess where this hole is.
There's no light?
There's no light at all.
Oh my God.
Or at least I didn't know where the light was. I didn't know where the light switch or what they had for that room was, right? Because I'm still like new to the area. So I was like, you know what? Because I didn't want to touch where the hole was, right?
Ew, yeah. No,
so I like tried to feel, you know how they sometimes have grooves for the hole?
Yes.
So I tried to feel for that, right? So I was like, oh, you know what? This spot feels a bit right? So I like squat down. I don't know how to squat properly, so I'm doing some weird awkward squat. I'm still at that point where you have to take off all your clothes.
Yep. I know
go
those
to the
ones.
washroom. And then literally I started going, and all I hear is like plopping, but like
on the floor.
On the floor.
Oh no.
So I'm like, oh, maybe I'm getting it near the hole, and like maybe they'll like wash down, but I realize there's no water, because there is water, but I can't find it. So I just keep going. It's like plopping. Going. I just keep going because I was already squatted at that point.
Oh my God.
So then I just get up. I wash, like we brought our own like paper that I had with me already. So I just used
you did that too?
Yeah.
We're so bougie.
But like I didn't know where anything was, so I kind of just dropped it on the area that I think I went.
Oh my God. You didn't even try to wash it down. You didn't even try to wipe it up.
Because I didn't know how, or I didn't know where anything was. And at this point, I don't know what mess I've made.
Because you can't see.
Because I can't see anything. So I literally just like hope that everything is good. I close up, I leave, and I come back in the morning just to see what like happened. And I see them both maids in the room. They had 2 in there, and they're like talking in Amharic, but it sounded like they're kind of like not arguing, but they're like, just
they're definitely
discussing
dissing
something.
You. They're like this nasty.
And then I walk and I look around the corner, and like the hole is here, like it's in one spot.
Yeah.
And the place I went was like 10 inches in front of it.
Oh my God.
So it's literally
they're probably accusing each other like,
yeah,
exactly.
So I completely missed the hole. And now they're trying to figure out how to clean it.
Oh
so
my God.
they had to clean that up. I felt so bad for them. I feel like everyone's had this issue, man.
No? I mean, no, I've never missed the hole.
Yeah.
What had happened was I went. So when I went to Ethiopia, obviously like, we went as babies.
Yeah.
But the first time that I went as like a conscious child was when I was 9, and I went with my dad. Mm-hmm. You know how it is when you travel with your dad. It's not the same when you travel with your mom, but I went with my dad.
Remind me of that story. Go ahead.
And I got really sick.
Yeah.
So obviously I had like diarrhea, which trigger warning. If diarrhea makes you queasy, like you could stop listening to this, or at least skip over. Anyway, so at the time, I remember I had these platform flip-flops. So they're already unstable, okay? Yeah. So I had to go to the bathroom, and there was a hole.
Yeah.
So, and I was sick. I had diarrhea.
Yeah.
So I'm going.
Like everyone gets when you go to Ethiopia.
Yeah. And I was also at that phase where you have to take off your pants and your underwear. Otherwise, you're going to literally shit on yourself.
Yeah.
So I did that. And I'm holding it in my hand. Like my pants up in the air like this while I'm squatting. My squat game was perfect. My mistake was the platform flip-flops.
They slid.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So as I'm going.
Yeah.
Okay. It's diarrhea, so it's a little liquidy.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
You would have to cut this part out.
Yeah, I might have to cut this out.
Anyway, what happened was as I was going, I slipped. And I fell into the hole.
Oh my God, Sada. I can't.
And I screamed so loud that everyone I was at my...
You screamed a lot in Ethiopia.
Oh, I did. I screamed so loud that like they thought something was attacking me. So they come running to see me like sprawled on the floor. Yeah. My hands like still in the air holding my pants. And I have shit all over the floor.
Oh my God. Sorry, I can't.
So then... Imagine 9-year-old me bawling my eyes out because I'm like, it's touching me. So my dad was like, and then ever since that day, every time I had to go to the bathroom, my dad would have to stand there and hold my hand.
Yo, that's what my dad did too. Really? Yeah, that's the thing you reminded me of.
Yeah, he used to hold my hand while I went to the bathroom.
Yeah, he literally hold my hand to give me balance.
Every single
yo, dad's a real MVP for that, man.
Yo, honestly, yeah, good for him though, because he wasn't taking care of me, and that's how I got sick. So every time I had to go to the bathroom, I was like, let's go. I fell last time. If you want me to call mom and tell her how bad of a job you're doing.
Oh my God.
So he would come with me to the bathroom and hold my hand. So that was my horror story. And then obviously every time I went back after that, everyone got toilets, so woohoo.
Yeah, I hope now, like, if we were to go back,
pretty sure they all have.
It's been like 12 years since I've been, so
whoa.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Don't worry, they got toilets. I mean, they might not all flush. Like everyone who knows, who's been back home.
Yeah.
Even if you have a toilet, there's always something wrong with it.
I can probably fix that.
There's either no toilet seat, or it doesn't flush, or there's just no water. Period. You just go and then you put water.
Was it your oh no, it was my dad's your
dad's mom.
My dad's mom. Sorry. Where in their house, like they made a toilet out of like concrete. So essentially, all they did was there's a hole already in the floor, so they made like 2 cinder block high, like not cinder blocks, but they look like cinder blocks stacked up on top of each other. So it's literally just like 2 rocks, and then you just sit on them, and there's a hole in the middle where it would all drop.
Kind of unstable.
Yeah, but and then also they had like a little like
it was like a
disabled carrier thing, like you know how like they walk the walker
my God,
thing.
My aunt had that too.
Yeah, but it had like a hole in the middle, so they can use it for the washroom too.
Yo,
and I would use that.
They're so innovative.
I know. I use that one. Every time there's a hole one, I just line it up and I just use theirs.
You know what? I used to like my aunt had that too. Like she had the option of the floor thing, and then she had this like it was like a wooden chair with a hole. Yeah, and just put it over the hole, and I would use that.
Exactly.
Good time.
Sanitation, smanitation.
Yeah, sanitation.
Exactly.
Bar of soap. Who's that? We don't know her. You want to wash your hands? Just air them out.
Exactly.
That's so bad.
Rub them against the wall.
Oh my God, that reminds me. Okay, so fast forward 10 years later, I went back to Ethiopia. Yeah. Okay, this time I knew. I thought ahead. I wore flats only. No one here wore flip-flop sandals. And this time around, it was Kuba, the soccer festival, and we went to one of the like concert things. Okay. Me, normally I'm good. Like I'll use the bathroom before I have to leave. I didn't use it this time. So we get to the place, and it was at the what's that one auditorium? Amir Abdullahi, I think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So we went there, and I was like, "Oh my! I'm literally going to pee my pants if I don't find a bathroom." So my cousin's like, "Oh, okay, I got you. Like they have really nice bathrooms here." Yeah. I was like, "Okay, sweet." And I was like, "Wait, is it a toilet or what?" Because I was wearing a long skirt this day. I remember. Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'll be good. It's a skirt. I'll just hike it up. I wait in line. Okay. And I had to go so bad. Like, you know, when you can't concentrate on anything else. Yeah. So I stood there and I was like really trying not to pee my pants. Yeah. So finally, the person who was in the bathroom before me opens the door. I go in and I'm like, and I look at my cousin. I'm like, I don't have toilet paper. What do I do? He's like, oh, so I found I had a water bottle. I had a water bottle. So I went in First of all, there was no toilet. It was a
Wait,
ceramic.
what?
It was a ceramic hole. Like there was no toilet. It was a hole in the ground.
Oh, okay. The whole yeah. That's
but
expected.
It was like the ceramic. Like they fancied it.
Yeah.
They made it fancy. Like why you're already paying to get a ceramic hole in the ground. You might as well just do a toilet.
Yeah.
You know.
But no, that's normal though. I've seen that a lot, and it has like the grooves for
yeah.
So you can,
Which are the okay. So I go in and I was already pissed.
Yeah.
So I'm like contemplating like can I hold it? I'll just hold it, or I'd rather go in a bush. Yeah. But I'm like, you know what? I'm already in here. Whatever. I'll just do what I can. So I go and I'm like scoping out the scene. First of all, for bugs. Anyone who's afraid of bugs, you do this all the time. It's just natural now. You just do it. So I'm like looking around, no bugs. Okay, I'm just gonna go in and out really fast. The less time I'm in here, the better. So now I'm trying to like the ceramic thing had a flush. Like, have you seen those ones?
How does that even work?
Because so it's like there's the grooves, right? And there's a hole, and then there's like a little thing where water comes out.
Oh,
like
okay, yeah.
To flush whatever down.
Yeah.
So the thing's kind of wet because the person before me used it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, now I'm trying to make sure that my dress doesn't touch the floor.
Yeah.
First, but then I'm like, I cannot fall. Like, I'm traumatized from the first time, so I'm like really trying to like balance. Then I'm good, okay? I finished. I had to go. I did it. I finished. And now I'm trying to stand up without my dress touching the floor. So I used the wall for support.
Okay.
And I was like, why does the wall feel like that? I looked over.
Sarah. Okay, go.
And because there's no toilet paper.
Oh, my God.
These nasty people
oh my God.
used their hands and wiped it on the wall.
Oh, my God, man.
And I literally...
I knew exactly where this was going.
In that moment, I almost like vomited in my... I was so disgusted. And I was so mad at myself that I had to go pee. I was like, why? And so I'm like this. I pulled up I barely even pulled up. I had tights under.
Yeah.
I barely pulled it up with one hand. And I'm walking out with my hand like this. And I'm looking for my cousin, like raging in anger. I'm like, I need a bar of soap. I need alcohol. I need to wipe this off now. And he was like, what is that? And I told him, I was like, there's literally poo all over the walls. There's pee on the floor. Why did you say this was a nice bathroom? And ever since then, I've learned my lesson. If I'm going to go somewhere, use the bathroom before you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
So...
I think that's how I learned to like that. Maybe that's why I have that issue where I just go to the washroom every time just before I leave somewhere.
You always do that. Anytime we're about to go out with Amir, you're like, 1 sec, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, you just went like 20 minutes ago. You gotta empty the
tank, man. You can't take any risks. You don't know. Maybe you might get stuck in traffic. How if you go to the washroom in the traffic, huh?
But I feel like for guys, it's easier. You could literally just go out and pee on the side of the road. I don't like when people do that, but...
Yeah, and it's awkward because then people see you on the road and they're staring at you.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, they're trying to see what you're working on.
That's a little weird.
I know, that's weird. That's so weird. Oh, my God.
But yeah, so that was my other story. But
you're so disgusting.
Mine are pretty gross. It's because I'm graphic when I explain.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. When you got to that part,
I had to give you details. Imagine. Can you just imagine that though? Like you're just trying.
Don't make me imagine it. I've seen it.
I was trying not to fall. So like, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that was actually the part where like I was in Garo, which is another part of Ethiopia.
Yeah,
and there was a washroom like that, and that's where my dad had to hold me and like help me up, or not help me up, but like keep me from falling.
Yeah, but I was 19. I can't have my male cousin holding my hand.
I guess so. Yeah,
you know
what
I mean.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah,
we're close, but we're not that close.
Yeah,
that's just taking it to a different level. And when I told him, he laughed at me and he thought it was so funny, and I was like, "This is not funny."
Hopefully, things have changed since then.
You mean like
it's more regular washrooms even in public?
I don't know. I never went back, so.
Yeah, we need to go back.
Yeah, we should.
Really inshallah, we'll go soon.
Oh my God, imagine doing a podcast there.
We're going to take all this gear?
Yeah,
I guess we can do it on our phones or something.
Yeah, we can do it on our phones. But.
It would take like 10 years to upload.
We'll upload it when we get back.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so where were we at? We were talking about...
What about that time you went? Remember that ravine behind my
Yeah,
apartment?
that's the one I was going to talk about. That was, honestly, I don't remember what ages these were happening. Like, they all happened roughly near each other? Not really. I don't know.
Between the ages of like 8 and 14. Maybe?
Yeah. Well, now if you include that other one, like 28.
That's going to be the concluding story.
So, okay. So, there was one point where, Sarah Seber used to live in an apartment like in like Danforth, Coxwell area, and behind their building was like a ravine and like a little trail.
Forest type.
I don't know if it was a legit trail or maybe we just made it a trail. Yeah, but we were out there. And the building's like 30 feet away, but similar thing. I had to go, and I just like for some reason I just couldn't hold it at all. So, I start running around, and this time I scouted correctly. Okay, well, sort of. So I'm running around. I'm like, okay, let's do some mechanics here. There's logs everywhere. So I can sit on the log and like scoot over so like a little bit's like sticking out so it'll all fall behind the log, right? Worked out perfectly.
Oh, that's what you did?
Yeah, that's what I did. I sat on the log.
Okay.
And I went and it all like fell off or whatever. I didn't have to pee or anything, so it didn't like fall in front or whatever. So the first part is that like I think as I was going, I see something like rustling in the bushes. And I don't know, because I was of course trying to find a good spot, right? So I ran away from everyone else and like found like a spot where they could still hear me, but like they couldn't see me. So then all I hear is something rustling in the bushes. And I think maybe because of my perspective of how I was sitting, it looked like a leopard or something had just walked out of the bushes and was staring me in the face. Honestly, at this point, it could have just been like a Bengal cat or something. It was just like something pretty tame, something like that. But I screamed so loud, like Sebri was hearing me. I'm like, there's a cat here or something like that. I just screaming that there's some animal there. And then I think just doing that kind of scared the animal away and it ran away. And then I was like, okay, let me finish up what I got to do. But I was trying to be cleanly, so I was like, I gotta find something I was trying to find something to clean up with, right?
Right.
So of course you're in the woods, you're in the ravine, you look for the leaves that are just hanging around. So it's like natural toilet paper, right?
Oh my god!
So I break off a couple of those. I start stacking them, and I just start.
You layered them?
Yeah, I layered them. I started laying them. I started using it, and all you hear is like a snap, like a. Like a little, because it ripped.
You ripped through all those layers.
And all like I think Sabri would tell you, I heard his outfit like Sabri, it ripped.
I don't think I was with you guys, but I remember they told me the story.
Yeah, it was bad, man. And then like now like have this stuff in my hand. I'm like looking for like water to like wash it away or whatever. I'm like brushing it against the wood and everything, trying to clean up. I'm still trying to like wipe. It was the most awkward situation, but like I think that was like the last time that scarred me, where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore.
Joke's on him.
Yeah. Should I mention that one now, or do you have something else to say?
No, I don't really have that many. Like, not that I'm willing to expose.
Okay. Anyway. Hey, so I'm exposing myself here, guys. You gotta, if you want me, you gotta have all of me.
Poop stories and all.
Yeah. This is gonna be like. I feel like while I'm editing, I'm gonna be like, I can't let this go. I can't let this out. I have to keep this to myself. No one can know about this. But whatever. I don't care, man. At this point, you guys know everything about us personally. You gotta know about us like bowelly. What? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's get to this story. So it was where was I? So if you don't know, I mentioned. Well, you probably know that, but I mentioned like frequently that I take walks every day, right? Mm-hmm. And like I just walk around the neighborhood, and part of my walk is like going to like Tim Hortons. I'll just get like a coffee sometimes, and I'll walk back with it. And this day I was like, I wasn't feeling 100%, so I was like, I'm not gonna work out, but I'm still gonna do my walk. Mm-hmm. So I start my walk, and like maybe a quarter way through, I start feeling a little like funny. Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? I can still make it through this walk. I think I should be fine.
You got the bubble guts?
Yeah, like it wasn't bubble guts like I had to go to the washroom, but like it just felt weird. And then I got to the Tim Hortons area, and this is like 3/4 into the walk, so I just have like a quarter left, right?
Right.
So I'm standing in there. I'm like, I really have to, like, I have to go. Like, this is it. And I look at the washroom in the Tim Hortons, and this is when COVID restrictions are still pretty strict.
Right.
So it was completely blocked off. No one could use. They had the chairs in front of it closed off. No one could get there. Right. I should have asked the workers, honestly. I don't know why I didn't ask them, because I'm that person who doesn't like disturbing any type of like flow. So I was like, you know what? I'll make it home. So I get my hot coffee.
Oh my God.
I get my hot coffee and I start like walking back, and I'm trying to like, you know how you just try and like trick yourself into feel like it's not a big thing?
Yes.
So I start walking normally. I have my coffee in my hand. I can't drink it yet because it's still too hot.
You didn't even speed walk?
No. Well, that started later. So I got to like a light that's that goes into a neighborhood that's next to my neighborhood, so I can cut through, because usually I'll go all the way around.
You walked all the way down there?
Yeah, but I went through the shortcut to try and get home a little faster, because I knew something was up, right? So I start walking, and I had the coffee in my hand, and I start walking faster and faster. And the coffee is in my hand at this point, but like I'm walking so vigorously that the coffee started spilling onto my hand.
So like dripping down?
Yeah, the coffee was like burning my hand, but I didn't care. I was like, I have to go. I can't hold this.
I'm just imagining if someone saw you.
Yo, the whole neighborhood probably saw me doing this. And I think it was still in winter too. I was still doing my walks in winter, so it was snow everywhere. Like there was still snow at this point. So I'm walking, and I'm getting closer to like the last bend to the house, but it's like maybe like 200 meters away, 200 feet away from me. And I start walking, and then eventually you just see a guy sprinting with a coffee in his hand. The coffee was spilling everywhere.
You just didn't even care.
I did not care. I should honestly threw the coffee away at this point. And then I get to a point where I start doing that whole thing where I start looking for spots to kind of go, because I knew I wasn't going to make it. At this point, I wasn't going to make it. I knew it. Like, it was to the point where it was like started to like slowly seep out. So I was like, you know what? I got to find a spot. So eventually I get to this. So when I'm walking towards my house to like, there's like a path to go to the other neighborhood. Before that, there's actually another path that cuts through that neighborhood into a park on the other side.
Okay.
And it sort of has like wood fences on it, right?
Yeah.
But the houses next to me, they can see everything, and the house across the street can see everything. But at this point, I did not care. I put the coffee down, and this is the middle, cold winter, negative like 20 degrees outside. I'm still walking in this bad weather. I pulled down my pants.
Did you take them off, or was your aim pretty
at this
good
point?
this time?
At this point, like it was just coming out, so I just had to pull down my pants, and it went everywhere. It went everywhere.
Was it explosive?
Yes.
Oh my.
To the point where I was trying to lean against a fence
To get balance?
Yeah, to get balance. The whole fence was covered. I'm sorry. Yo, it was bad. And then I look up, and there's a dude at the window looking down.
What if he was making a TikTok? One day we're going to see this TikTok.
It was so embarrassing. And then I look to my right, and there's a car passing with the people in the car looking at me. As I'm doing this, projectile, you know what, all over the fence.
Amir.
Yo, and I, at this point.
First of all, why was it not going down?
What? Yeah, it was going across and then like streaking. I don't even want to go into too much detail.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, I had to do the walk of shame, right? So I had a bunch of stuff on me too. I threw off my jacket. So when I was running there, I literally started throwing off my clothes to have as few obstructions as possible, so nothing would get dirty, right?
Oh my God.
So I started doing the walk of shame. I get up. Everything's still like there. I like pull up my pants. I don't even pull up my pants fully.
Because you don't want it to touch?
Yeah, because I didn't want anything to touch. I like put on my jacket and I start like walking home like I look like a bum. I look like a bum at this point. My clothes isn't on straight. I put on my mask. I put on my hoodie. I put on my hat all at the same time so no one can see who it is.
What about the coffee?
I left the coffee behind. I literally, when I got home, I was like, God damn it, I left evidence. Well, outside of my DNA.
Literally your DNA.
So I was like, I legit in my head, I was like, wait, now they can test it and find out who it is. But I was like, nah, no one's going to do that. But I left my coffee there, the whole mess and everything. I got in the house, walk of shame. I literally I was never more embarrassed in my life at that point, to the point where I still do not walk through that part of the neighborhood.
Are you serious?
To this day, I used to walk through there all the time. I will never walk through that neighborhood again.
Why? Because you feel like they'll see you.
I feel like they'll see me and recognize me. Even though I have, even though I had all my clothes on, like they could, like all my clothes, all my like my hoodie, my mask, my face, all that stuff on.
Yeah.
So they couldn't tell who it was. I feel like they'll be able to tell me from my walk, from like my posture, my height, or whatever. They'll be able to identify me. And I don't know, this is maybe that's another fear of me going down that street.
Yeah. Actually, our first ever recording was you telling me this story.
Was it? Oh, yeah,
Do you remember?
Yes, it was. Oh, my God. Before I think I cut that out. I didn't leave that part in. I don't. Did I tell that
no,
story
like
already?
we were like testing it. No, we didn't actually post it.
Oh,
we
okay.
You're like, I'm never gonna tell anyone this story.
Yeah.
But here we are, guys.
But yeah, that's it never stops, guys. You know, just make sure you take care of yourselves. If you feel a little tingle, a little something in your stomach, make sure to address it right away. You know, don't take any risks like I did. Don't postpone it. Yeah, we're trying to give you some lesson from this, because for the 1 or 2 people who are actually going to listen to this, I feel like
it's going to be us laughing at our
yeah,
own
exactly.
stories. Have you seen that one TikTok where the girl, like that woman, basically has these like inspirational quotes? I'm going to leave you guys with an inspirational quote and make one up off the top of my head.
Okay, make one.
If you feel funny and you have to go to the bathroom, it's better not to wait. There will always be time for fun. Hashtag speaking from the heart. Whoa.
It's not like you must say speaking from the fart.
Hashtag speaking from the heart. B. Fletcher. Anyone who gets that? Have you seen her videos?
No.
You haven't?
Oh, is it like a black woman?
Yeah.
I never heard that quote.
I just made that one up.
Oh, you just made that one up. I
Yeah.
thought, oh, okay, shoot. I thought it was.
I was trying to say, like, you know? But yeah, I like that girl.
Oh, I got a quote.
Tough time never lasts. Only tough people last.
What the hell was that? That made me so
You never seen that video?
No. What the hell was that?
Yeah, that's my favorite video on the internet at this point. I quote that all the time. All the time, man.
That's what the title of this podcast is going to be.
Tough times never last. Only tough people last. That'll be so long of a title.
That is too long of a title.
Okay, we got to end this, man. We're getting to that like late night incoherency where you just start making up random stuff.
I feel like, you know, if you guys thought you knew us before, I feel like y'all know us on a whole new level now.
Exactly.
We comfortable.
Yeah, they definitely know a lot more about me than that.
What do you mean? I shared some stories.
Oh, yeah, you
too.
did. Oh, actually, yeah, you definitely did.
Not me sprawled out on the floor with poo all over the side of my body, crying.
Oh, my God.
So, you know.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to end it there then.
Thank you guys for listening to our poo stories.
Don't say it like that.
Okay, thank you guys for listening to our stories of the accidents that happened.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds a lot better, but worse at the same time.
Yeah, right? Yeah. But I mean, you know, it's been real. It's been fun. Follow us on Instagram, Cousin Connection Pod. Amir was taken, and Ali Sara 2_. We will see you in 2 weeks. We're going to miss you. Hopefully you guys miss us, and we'll actually come back to listen to our new episodes. Bye.